Hey guys, this is Leah with Aukskalnis Marketing, and in today's tip video I'm going to show you how to start a lease opportunity in KW Command. So if you're representing the tenant or the landlord, I'm going to show you how you can go ahead and create the opportunity and then view that on your lease's opportunity pipeline. Alright, so first things first, we need to go ahead and log into KW Command. So to log into KW Command, I'm at agent.kw.com. So again, that's agent.kw.com. I'll go ahead and log in. Of course, feel free to pause the video if you're still working on logging in. However, once you're logged in, the first step to starting any opportunity is to make sure the contact is added to your database. Okay, so on the left-hand side menu, you want to select the contact icon. You can always click on the KW logo on the top to pan that out. And you can either click Add Contact on the top right to add a new contact for this opportunity, or we can go ahead and search on the left-hand side to search for that right away. Alright, so whatever contact, you can also add a contact. So if you want to go ahead and add a test contact, you can absolutely do that as well. Alright, so once I have the contact added in, you have one of two options here. So you can either start an opportunity from within the contact record directly, from within the opportunity section on the right-hand side. You'll see the option to create opportunity. And this is generally the way I go through and do that. I just find it works best for my workflow and to quickly get to the contact and create that opportunity. This is how I do it personally, is I create the opportunity right from here. However, I want to show you guys the Lease's Pipeline on the opportunity dashboard. So I'm going to show you a second way to create an opportunity as well. And either one is totally fine. So on the left-hand side, on the left-hand menu, we're going to want to click on the opportunities icon. So that icon looks like a handshake, kind of like you're making a deal. Makes sense. And from there, so this is the opportunities dashboard. If you've been asking yourself what an opportunity is since the start of this class, I don't blame you. Okay, what an opportunity is, right, think of it as, right, you are standing in the grocery store in line, you have your name badge on because you're a great realtor, and someone asks you about the market. So you get to talking, find out that they're looking to buy or sell, or maybe in this case, they're a landlord or tenant looking to rent or rent out their place. And now they're looking to do that in the next 6 months. So that is an opportunity, right? That's an opportunity for a closing, opportunity for a commission. That's the idea of it. All right, so there is an opportunity pipeline for leases. This is going to be a very visual tool for you. So for the leases side of it, really for all of it, you'll be able to see how many contacts you have in each section of the pipeline. So there are 5 phases of the pipeline: cultivate, growing the relationship, appointment, active, pending, and our favorite, closed. Okay, so you'll be able to see how many people that you have, or how many opportunities rather, that you have in each stage, each phase of the opportunity pipeline. And you can also set action items for, what items do I need to do to move that opportunity to the next phase of the pipeline? From growing the relationship to an actual appointment. What are steps I can take to move that along? And then from appointment to active, and so forth, okay? So you can completely customize this. First thing we need to do is we need to go ahead and click Create Opportunity on the top right to create that lease's opportunity. So whether it be a landlord or a tenant, we need to click Create Opportunity on the very top right. And just keep in mind that the contacts will have to already be added to your command database in order to create an opportunity from here. When you do that, okay, so when you go through and create an opportunity, it'll take you about 30 seconds to do it. I'm going to point out, I'm going to explain what each one of the fields means, but really you only have to fill out a couple fields through this, and I'll point those out. So market center name, go ahead and select that. Typically agents are just in one market center, so you Shouldn't have to change that first drop down, but if you're in more than one market center or transferring, make sure you're adding this opportunity to the correct market center because there's no way to change it after you create it. If you're on a team, you might see your team name from that drop down. Opportunity type. Okay, so this is the first step that you actually have to do something. So you'll want to change that from listing to landlord or tenant. So in this case, let's say I'm representing the landlord. The owner, that's talking about the owner of the opportunity, not the owner of the property. So the owner name will either be your name or your rainmaker on your team if you're on a team. Client. All right, so this is where the client's name has to already be in your database to go ahead and connect them. So what I want to do in this client drop down here, you'll want to start typing in the client's name. And so you don't want to typically copy and paste into this field for the contact name. As you can see, it sometimes takes a second and it's a little fickle here. But I did just get him to pull up. Let's try this one more time. All right. So we got the contact name added. So this is another reason I like to go through the contact record directly to create the opportunity, because it always fills in the client name automatically for that, just as a workaround, because I know that can be a little fickle at this time. All right, opportunity name. If you do know the property address, so especially if you're representing the landlord, make sure you name the opportunity name after the property address. So let's say Lord. I always like to leave the client's name and if they're a landlord or a tenant as well on there, just so I can easily see those details when I look at the opportunities from the contact record. We can skip over any fields that don't have a red star. So anytime you see these red asterisks in command, that does indicate the field is required to continue. So if you scroll on down here, we just really have to fill in the next starred item, so the lease price here. So let's say the lease price is $1,500. And then we have to go ahead and put in the opportunity phase and opportunity stage. That's just picking where on your pipeline that you want this lease to sit. You want it under cultivate, right, growing the relationship. Are you already in appointment phase, active, so forth. And then you can pick the stage, which are basically just sub-stages within each opportunity phase, and click create. And it will take you over to the details of the opportunity here. Now, the main thing for you to know about the opportunity for a landlord or a tenant, so something I want to show you guys is first of all how to access .loop or DocuSign right from your opportunity, and that'll always be from the document section of your opportunity. So anytime that you go to create a new transaction, make sure you're doing that directly from command in the steps that we just did, right? Step 1, we added the contact to our database. Step 2, we created the opportunity. And step 3, we're now going to the document section of the opportunity to click start a transaction. So it's really important that you start the transaction right from here. And then you can select if you're going through DocuSign or .loop. And if you're not seeing these options display, you'll need to go ahead and link up your DocuSign or .loop account from your command settings by clicking on your name on the top right of command. If you have any trouble with that, you can go ahead and email support@scottleroymarketing.com. We're happy to help you link up your .loop or DocuSign account to command. All right, guys, so just again, to note that you always want to start a transaction right from here to DocuSign or .loop. Right, and DocuSign or /.loop is being used to get your forms signed by your clients. Right, so this platform, whichever you're using, is between the agent and the client to fill in your forms and get them electronically signed. So once those forms come back executed, at that time you will have to come into the document section of your opportunity to add forms in on the left-hand side. So you'll see right here on the left-hand side, To go ahead and add in forms to submit to your market center for review, you should have listing checklists on the top left to select from, to select if that's a lease or a landlord, residential, so forth. Okay, and then you'll be able to add your executed forms here to these checklists and submit to the Market Center for review. So this button will go live once you've added in your executed forms to the checklist on the left-hand side. All right, and again, the command opportunity document section is being used between the agent and your staff to submit compliance review. All right, the big thing too for finding your opportunities on the lease pipeline. Right, so if I go back to the opportunity section, this is a really important note. It's kind of confusing for any lease transactions that you have. So just a heads up, in the opportunities section under leases, if you were to click on any one of these opportunity phases, it'll take you into the pipeline itself. But you'll notice, right, I don't actually see the opportunity because it defaults on the type tenant on the top. So in order to see the landlords, you have to switch it. Just a heads up. So anytime you create a landlord, it's easy for those to go missing on your pipeline because the landlord pipeline needs to be toggled on the top. So make sure you're doing that if you want to see it on the pipeline itself. Okay, you can also search for opportunities on the top right. And you're given the option to look at all opportunities from the opportunity dashboard. If you ever have any issues finding an opportunity on your pipeline, you can always go to all opportunities on the top of your screen here, and that will allow you to search to find that opportunity right away. All right, guys, so if you have any questions on that, please let us know. support@scottlavorymarketing.com. I will put the tip video in the description of this YouTube video on how to use DocuSign and dotloop with command. So if you would like further instruction on actually using e-signature software with command, I'll include that in the notes of the video. All right, guys, if you have any questions, please let us know. I hope this helped.